I'm addicted to this lip balm. It's the Burt's Bees original one, and at first I was like, why is it spicy? But now I'm literally addicted to it. And it's the most moisturizing lip balm I've found because when I put like petroleum jelly based ones, my lips dry out even more. Like chapstick is one of those. EOS doesn't work for me. So I really like this one. This is Petunia. I think this is going to be a part of a new series on my channel called Autism IRL, in real life, because I just want to share some experiences that I have or have had. I can tell past stories as well for viewers that relate to me, or you might be suspecting maybe you're also on the spectrum. It's mostly if somebody like me is watching, I don't want them to feel alone, because I would have appreciated not feeling alone when I was going through those things. Anyway, that's the goal of this new series. I'm not looking for any advice or anything like that, because I am not broken and I don't need to be fixed. It is just I experience the world differently, and that's okay. And if you experience the world differently as well, that's okay. And we don't need to be fixed. It's just that the system, the society we live in is not very accommodating to people who are having a different experience than the norm. I hope that'll change in the future, but for now, this is what we have. So, if you're also incompatible with the world as it is, maybe this video is for you. Today I went to the dentist, and basically I needed a procedure done where my wisdom teeth are out, but they're a little bit covered by the gum. So I looked it up online, and it said what you need is like it's called an operculectomy, where they kind of remove a little bit of the gum that's covering the tooth. They do it with a laser. It's very simple, and that's what I need. So we went to the dentist. I was with P. And first of all, I'm in Italy, so I can't communicate very well. I can kind of understand what they're saying, but I can't communicate what I need to say, and that's already a little bit frustrating. So I have to depend on the translations that P provides, and sometimes she's not there. She's not around to translate. So I woke up really early this morning, so I was already a little bit tired. When we got there, I was okay. Just a little bit stressed because, I was nervous about what the doctor's gonna say. And then we went in, and the doctor said he wanted an x-ray, and I said, okay, but give me the cheapest one, because I already knew that my teeth were straight. Like, I've seen it on previous x-rays. But since I'm new to this dentist, I was like, okay, go ahead and get the x-ray, but this is what I need. And I made P translate for me. And he was like, okay. So I go in for the x-ray. They do the x-ray. I come back, and P is not there anymore because she had to go in for her own appointment where she had her teeth whitening thing happening. Not whitening, but like cleaning, when they scrape the tartar. So she was not there. Thankfully, this doctor spoke a tiny little bit of English. So he comes in, he looks at the x-ray. Just as I suspected, my teeth are as straight as they can be. I mean, like, these teeth were so straight that they made the rest of my teeth look crooked on the x-ray. And I have pretty much straight teeth, so obviously he couldn't say anything about that. But he goes ahead, and he's showing me, like, the darker spots of my gum, and he goes, here, this is inflamed, meaning the gum. So what we need to do, we take out your wisdom teeth. I don't know why they're like a broken record, these dentists, with taking out your wisdom teeth, even when they are not causing any problems. I don't know if this is just in Italy or everywhere. Let me know in the comments. But literally every dentist I go to is like, let's take him out, let's take him out, let's take him out. And I have to fight them every single time because I know for a fact that, first of all, my wisdom teeth already came out. They are not causing problems with my other teeth. So there's no impaction, something like that. None of that is happening. Literally just the gums are covering it. And he goes and says, the gums are inflamed. We should take out the teeth. Like, no shit, the gums are inflamed. The tooth is hitting the gum. Obviously, it's inflamed. You can take off the gum. You don't need to take out the tooth. And these teeth, these wisdom teeth, the bottom ones, they're huge. These are massive teeth, you know? Like, they go deep into your jaw. And if you take those out for no reason, willy-nilly, you can actually have a lot of problems afterwards. That is not like a minor surgery at all. That is a very invasive surgery. And the fact that they just, that's their one track. They have a one track mind, like whatever, take them out, take them out, take them out. Oh. So, and so I told him, no, I don't want to take them out. I'm not taking them out. And then he goes, okay, so if we have to do the operculectomy with the laser, okay, but the gums may grow back. And I said, okay, I'll take that chance. Thank you. Please give me the operculectomy. And I said, okay. So I go out and I sit down in the waiting room, which looks like a prison cell, like there are no windows. It's all closed in, like. And like at that point, I was just feeling really overwhelmed. And I started crying. And I didn't want to show anyone that I was crying, so I put on my sunglasses. And I have acquired a skill over my lifetime of crying very, very quietly. So it's just like some tears streaming down with my sunglasses on. And at that point I was also feeling very overwhelmed because of like the interaction and just their thought process, like what a backwards way. And then I went on Google because I was feeling so frustrated, like, am I wrong? Are they right? Do I really need to take these out? And I Googled some stuff. Apparently this is an experience a lot of people have where they go to the dentist and they're like, okay, let's take the teeth out, even if they're not causing problems. And this woman was asking, like, why did they ask me to take these out? I mean, they ended up growing in just fine and they don't cause me any problems. And this dentist replied, and she goes, it's basically misinformation. Back in the day, that's how they were taught, the dentists, like, just take it out. That was their thing to do. But she was saying that it's actually not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is always the least invasive approach for the health of the patient. Obviously, you know, there might be exceptions to that. Like literally if they're coming in sideways and you can see it on the x-ray, yeah, they're going to cause problems, take them out. That makes sense to me. But if they're literally straight, they're already out, they're not causing any problems, why is there one track to take them out? Doesn't make any sense to me. And it didn't make any sense to this dentist either. She was kind of saying, good job for sticking up for your teeth and sticking up for yourself and not having them take them out, because that can also cause a lot of complications and problems down the road. So in the end, they weren't right. They were not right. The least invasive procedure is the one I was asking for, which is removing the gum where, you know, the gum is covering and food can get stuck in there. Basically, that's the only issue. Literally, like, food can get stuck in there. Like, it can get inflamed, it can get irritated, maybe even infected. So, but like this whole interaction was very stressful for me because I also I have a hard time, like, with confrontations, even if it goes well, even if it goes my way. Just having this interaction with another person is just incredibly stressful for me. And so, you know, I was having a reaction and I was crying in public, and I'm 28 years old and I shouldn't be crying in public, but like, that's the story of my life. It's not really something I can control. And then eventually P comes out, and she was scheduling our next appointment where I have to actually get the procedure done because they didn't do it the same day. And thankfully I had, the smart idea to ask them, but they're doing both teeth on the same day, right? Because we don't want to come back there. It's like an hour drive. And like the nurse was like, oh no, one tooth. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, because I've had something like this done before and they did both teeth. So she was like, oh, okay, I'll go ask the doctor. So she goes and asks the doctor, and then in fact the doctor said, yeah, both on the same day. But like, if I didn't ask, wouldn't have not happened. Anyway, I got also stressed out by that. And by that point, I was having like a lot of pain, because stress in my body translates into pain. So I was having a lot of chest pain. And I didn't want to say anything, because if you say randomly that you have chest pain, they think you're having a heart attack. And I knew it was not a heart attack. Maybe it was a panic attack. I don't know. I'm very calm through any panic attacks. I just, it's kind of normal. Like, it just hurts. So I was crying. Like, I was standing there crying, and Pete turns around and she's like, are you okay? I said, yeah, I just have a headache. So I sat down. She told me to sit down, and I was just crying for like the whole rest of the time where she was scheduling things, and then we left. And then I was crying all the way back home. Almost all the way back home. It's a long drive. It's like an hour long drive, so half an hour of the drive. So why am I telling you this story? Well, first of all, I mean, if you relate to this, I don't want you to feel alone, because I know it's not the normal thing to do. But at the same time, do I have any control over it? Absolutely fucking not. If I had any control over it, do you think I would be crying and embarrassing myself in front of like random strangers in a dentist's office? No, it's not in my control. So I just want to say this. If you are a loved one of somebody who is autistic or neurodivergent, even if you're not going to be accommodating to them, just be kind and don't be mean and don't be judgmental to them, because they can't control it. And the experience they're having is different than the one you're having, even if you're at the same place at the same time going through the same thing. And you would think, why does that warrant like that reaction? Like, for you it might not make sense, but for me, for us I should say, we're having a very extrasensory experience of the entire thing, and we're feeling a lot more than maybe what you are feeling in that same circumstance. So for us, it's very overwhelming. And that crying is not a sign of weakness. That crying is just releasing that pressure of the built up emotions. And there's no such thing as stopping myself from crying. At that point, it literally just comes out. I try to stop it anyway, but it comes out. So if you are the person or you suspect you're an autistic person, it's very important for us to acknowledge when something stressful happens and kind of caretake ourselves and our emotions. Because if we don't caretake ourselves because we think we're just being silly, like if we don't give ourselves compassion, then it adds up, one experience after the other, until it might manifest into you becoming agoraphobic, or like such a huge burnout that you might be just so depressed or so anxious you can't get out of bed. Like it compounds. So whenever something stressful happens, it's the healthiest thing to let yourself go through the emotions that come up and give yourself what you need. So for me, that was like a shower right after, because that helped calm my nerves, and sitting in my air-conditioned room alone for a while. Like, I'm gonna be here for a while. P is gonna go to the beach. She has like a pizza tonight, and I told her I'm not coming. Like, I need to be alone. I need to be with my own energy. I need to calm down. I need to relax, because I'm not okay. And like even now, as you might be able to tell, I'm a little bit on the edge because that experience put my nervous system into a bit of a fight-flight mode. So I need to accommodate myself and allow myself the rest and recovery that I need. And yeah, so if you have a loved one, please don't be mean and please don't be judgmental to them. Just be accommodating to them. And yeah, that's my story for today. Thank you for listening. And maybe I'll tell some stories from when I was a bit younger as well. But I mean, I'm not an expert on this. I'm just somebody with 28 years of experience of being this. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. And we'll be back with a Dear Sadie MP video pretty soon as well. So look forward to that.